What's going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your time. This is a Molsect knife. Strange name, but a nice company. Now, they sent this to me. And I share that with you because that doesn't happen very often for me. I have not spent a lot of time trying to get free stuff from people. But they saw my other stuff on TikTok and on YouTube and said, hey, would you want to check this out? I said, sure. While I was waiting for this to arrive, I ordered the Molsect Jungle, which I've already done a video on. It's a much bigger knife. And I liked that one enough that I knew that when this one landed, I was going to be able to do kind of a positive review. If I had not liked the other one that I got, and this was a piece of junk, for instance, I wouldn't be doing this review. You can send me all the 3 things you want, but if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. However, this is a cool little knife. Now, Molsect is a budget company, at least for the most part. And Molsect, again, strange name. Excuse me while I get out my notes because I am an imperfect person. It is Molsect, and this is the Orbit. So what do you get? Well, for your about $50, you get a 14C 28N Sandvik steel blade that is hollow ground. That's really nice. You get a lovely blade shape, right? It's got this swedge across the top. Now, it does have a partial fuller, but you can't flick with that, right? So the only way to open this knife is front flip or top flip, however you want to call it. It has their sort of proprietary pivot, which it's just a flathead. Don't let that scare you. The rest of this is standard screws. I'm going to say they're T6. I wish they were T8. I don't have my tools on the table, but yeah. You get the little Molsect logo right there on the pivot, which is a nice touch. It's got a nice deep carry pocket clip. Stamped steel, but hey, it works. It is a steel liner lock. And I want you to really look. All of this is chamfered. So it's a very soft knife in hand. It's not a very big knife, but because of this really neutral sort of handle shape and the fact that this is all chamfered, it's very comfortable. I do love the blade on this thing. There is milling. Excuse me for that. Hang on a sec. There is milling. You see that? On the inside, not a lot, but enough to keep the weight down a bit. And they cut out this pivot. There's a thumb spot. This pivot. There's a thumb spot on this scale here. So when you open it, there's a place to sort of get your finger into this jimping to grab hold of the lock bar, which is a really nice feature. There is a lanyard hole, and these come with paracord. If you want to make your own lanyard, they give you the tools. Hang on a second, let me show you something. Oh, here it is. This is another Molsect. This is one that I bought. This is the Arch. We're not going to do this review today, but I wanted to show you what these things come with because it's the same. So you get your knife, you get this sort of pleather pouch. It's got the Molsect name on it, which is really nice. Inside, this is the Arch. We'll look at this later. You get a cleaning cloth, you get a sticker, you get a pin, and a little thing of paracord. I mean, for $50, okay. Oh, I suppose we look. Oh, that's nice. That's the Arch. Very straightforward little pocket knife. We'll look at this later. I really like the Orbit. Now, I know this knife is not new. It took them a while to get it to me, and in the meantime, a bunch of other channels have done this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But for those of you that know me, you know that my taste in knives runs to bigger cutting tools. Right? I like big knives, and I cannot lie. It doesn't mean that I am averse to a really well-done small knife. The 940 continues to be a personal favorite, right? It's a well-sorted cutting tool. Pyrite is an excellent knife. Right? These are small. So, let's talk about why I like this one in particular. Well, I mentioned that the handle is very comfortable. My wife is making faces at me. It's very comfortable. The G10 is smooth, but it's got a little bit of grip to it. What's happening?
What's happening?
You want to review the Molsect Orbit?
I like that one.
Yeah, it's a nice little knife, like a hollow.
It's a good size.
Yeah, it's got good hollow, nice cutting. I'm a fan of the Sandvik steel too. It's really rust and stain resistant, holds an edge well.
It's a good size for me.
Yeah, but because they made the handle so nice and neutral, it's a good size for me too.
Like it.
Yeah. Let's get the specs out of the way on the Molsect Orbit. Orbit. As I said, it is a smaller knife, so we are coming in at 7 1/4. You get, a little over 7 1/4, and you get 3 inches of cutting on 3 1/4 inches of that Sandvik steel. The grip area is the entire body of the knife, so we'll start right about there, coming in a little over 3 1/2. My pinky drops off the end of the knife just a little bit. I can move up, but yeah, you're better off back here a little bit for safety. Access to the lock bar is easy and well done. When closed, you're talking about 4 inches overall, not too bad. At its thickest, which is at the top of the knife, so the bottom of your pocket, you are looking at about 1 1/4 inches. Kind of standard, nothing fancy. If we break out our calipers, hey, there they are. I'm a professional, watch me go. We zero that, set that where we want it. You get 2.7 millimeters thickness of blade, which is good because that means that if you mix that relatively thin slice, right, with this hollow grind, it is an excellent cutter. It really is. Very slicey. Well done. At its thickest, the handle, which is part of the reason it offers such good grip, is coming in at 13.7 millimeters, just shy. Just over a 1/2 inch. I know how to do math. I really don't. This is cool. Now, I'm old. I remember when a budget knife was something that cost $20 or less, but we're not living in that world anymore. So, $50, well, the actual price is $49.50. You can get yours for $49.50. It's pretty reasonable in this market, in this day and age. But moreover, it's just a nice knife. Let's see how much it weighs. .3 ounces. Yeah. Wildly average knife weight. But it is steel liners, is G10, right? They weren't leaning for ultralight. They were leaning for reasonably priced, good materials, and compact carry. And they were successful. I will put a link in the description to where you can find one of these. It is not a paid link. They're not paying me to send them. I'm not getting a kickback or anything. But I do think if you're into budget stuff, if you're there in your collection, or if you're just looking for a nice knife to drop in your backpack or in your go bag or in your car, that's a good place to start. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. This again is the Molsect Orbit. I have been a Therapeutic Edge. Remember, gang, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.